What's up, everybody? Carolina Keith, regular Keith, just Keith, Professor Keith. I don't care. I don't care. You know that stupid song. Keith, that's all I gotta say. All I really care about is my regular name. Good to see everybody. Boy, what a difference a couple day makes. Do we got some stuff to talk about finally? So, without further ado, let's jump right off into this. Welcome, everybody, to Charts and Crypto After Dark. If you haven't done so, go hit like. It's free, costs absolutely nothing. The more you guys hit like, the more YouTube sends this around to everybody else and lets them know what we're doing, when we're doing it, and why we're doing it. Puts our good name out there, gets us out there for everybody to see. That's a good thing. While you're there, subscribe, hit the notification bell so you don't miss anything when we do these live streams. Now, let me tell you something. There are rare moments when I wait and wait and wait for something to go right. And then, bam, it goes exactly like I wanted it to go. And there are moments when I want something to go a certain way and it goes a certain kind of way and then still ends up being about right. That's kind of what we got tonight. Man, boy, did XRP really show out for us here. But it's not just XRP, it's everything. And we'll get into that right now. So let's do the timestamp right at 8:30. That's a terrible number 8, Keith. Good Lord. Like a toddler wrote it. Perfect. All right. So I've been talking about this $1.30 level for how long now? I've explained it many times that I saw $1.30 coming and then bing bang, all kind of different ones.
Gotta give him that hook to it, spit on that thing.
Or whatever, right? Yep. And everybody would say, no, you didn't, Keith. You didn't say this number.
Bloody fuck you, bloody.
Yes, I did. And for those who say, Keith, you're wrong all the time.
Gotcha, bitch.
Nope, not this time. This green circle I drew quite a ways back. We've been watching this move go down and down and down and down and sort of drive itself off into the hole. And when I talked about last live stream, I said, look, XRP is down in the dumps. Are we about to see a move up? Boy, the timing. So not only did it make its move up, but it jumped dramatically and it went straight to that $1.30 area that I had kind of marked on the chart. Now, I marked it over there. It happened a little sooner than that. Boy, I wish I could perfectly time everything, but getting within a couple days is good enough to me. So we did the live stream. I said, hey, look, looks like she's broken trend. And that's exactly what happened. Not only did she break trend, but she just took right off and started making its move up. I warned you that this area has done this before. These orange arrows that I've drawn mark similar moves all the way back to the very first time I ever purchased any crypto ever. I've talked about this story before, but when I was sitting there with a coworker, I saw him looking over at his phone at charts, and I'd already started messing around with Forex, and he was looking at XRP. This was all the way back in 2018 in August, right near my birthday. That's how I remember it. And I was at a forklift training. I already had a forklift certification, but I had to get another certification for another stupid thing. And it's so ridiculous. Doesn't matter. But the first time I ever purchased XRP was right there. First buy ever. You can't probably read that, so let me bump that up a little bit. First buy ever, 28 cents, and I spent 25 whole dollars. Thought I was doing something big. Now, I ended up getting about 800 bucks in at that time. Chart goes up. Boy, did I think I was going to be a millionaire overnight. Wrong. I was not a millionaire overnight. Had a ton to learn. Nevertheless, this is the exact same moment in time that this move happened back in 2018. Fast forward 4 years. Here we are again. After many buys and sales and buys and sales and buys and sales. And as you see right there, I buy low, sell high, buy low, sell high, buy low, sell high. And this is all documented on YouTube, so don't try me. You can go back and check the videos. It's all still there. I delete nothing. So same time, 4 years fast forwarded to 2022. Right here's August 20th. Right now, August 22nd, then But as you see, almost exactly at the same time, move up off the lows, up against the trend line again. Was it as abrupt as this one? No, but it did last 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 weeks. It went up and made a 63% gain, which is awesome. And it did that this exact same time 4 years ago. Fast forward to now. And here we are. Same move, same timing, same place. It's almost as if we knew this was coming. Now, can we be perfect? No. No. The goal is to not be perfect. The goal is to just get close and try to make this stuff as easy as we can by using the charts and using the data that we have for us. That's exactly what I'm trying to do in front of you for everybody to see, because I want everybody to make as much money as you can, as fast as you can. And I want you to not be that idiot who was me, who just hodls and thinks this thing's going to go to $1 million and just going to be a magical millionaire overnight and then moon soon and all that fake shit. It's all a lie. None of that's true. It's never been true. They've been saying that stuff since the day I got into this. Before I got into this, this has been going on well before then. But from 2018 to 2022, it did almost nothing. And I waited and waited and waited, and it finally made a move, and I got profits. And we did it all again last time. And here we are again, looking at this same thing again. I'm warning you right now, this thing is going to slow down here at some point and calm down and turn back around and slow up. How far down will it go? Well, we can kind of start reading into that a little bit after we know what it's already done here. Pulling up the moving averages. First, it blew right through the 821 EMA, the 50 moving average, the 100 moving average, and is attempting to get through the 200 moving average as we speak. I'll get to all you guys' comments after I get done with this chart. Going through all those moving averages that fast at one time without breathing is unsustainable. It needs to stop, check up on these moving averages, give them a back test, think about it, and then go through them. And it did none of that. It just blew straight through them. Ichimoku cloud went from 0 to looking great. All of a sudden, out of nowhere, you have the lag line over the candles and the cloud, the price over the cloud, the conversion line over the baseline. The cloud turned green all at once. Unsustainable. Pivot points, you blew through pivot, R1, R2, and R3 all at one time. It's a bit unsustainable. How about the RSI? It went from doing nothing to overbought in a matter of 2 days. Now, can it continue to go up here? Yes, it can. Look, we've seen RSIs go all the way up in the 90s. It's at 79 right now. Very impressive 79. But I'm going to warn you, look back in history a little bit and see what happens when this thing goes overbought. Overbought, big drop off. Yeah? Overbought, big drop off. Overbought, big drop off. Overbought, insane drop off. Point being that once it gets overbought, it's time to start thinking about where it may turn around and start thinking about, man, I've overpurchased. I need to, you got it, sell some. It doesn't mean sell it all. Just means it might be time to sell some. Okay? I took profits today. I'd been holding on and waiting. I finally got my chance to take profits, and I did. Now, vice versa, when we are oversold, we've sold too much, we need to, you got it, purchase some, or at least think about purchasing some. As you see, it worked out really, really well right here. That's what the RSI is for. All right, last but not least, the MACD. Man, you went from sell volume to all buy volume with massive divergence between the orange and the blue lines here. That divergence doesn't usually last very long. You want that to be a nice smooth transition, either up or down. As you see, it was nice and smooth on the way down here, got a little wide, and when that happened, they came back together. Look how smooth this ride it was up. That's kind of what you want to see. That's the most ideal scenario. What do we get? Instant snap, jerk, go. That immediately gives me pause. All that being under the trend line immediately gives me pause. If you need to see that trend line a little better, I'll scroll out for you so you can kind of see it. Now, I've drawn this trend line up here. That's sort of a predictive one that I think will happen next year. We haven't got that far yet, right? But it's a sequence that it's kind of gone through before. I'm just trying to plot it out the best I can beforehand. Disregard that one. We're looking at this one right here, this very aggressive downtrend line that's still under for the time being. I've got this red box drawn right here. Why? Well, it's resistance. It's the last or the latest resistance that this chart's formed. And that happened starting in February all the way until now when it started to try to jump over some of it. But so far, all she's done is sort of run into it. All right. Moving averages on the weekly. Here's the other problems. You failed the 200 moving average. And now we're just trying to break right through the 8 EMA, 200 EMA, and 21 EMA all at one time. Call me crazy, but I find that to be a little bit unsustainable. Can it hold on here? Yes. Here's what I actually think's gonna happen with this price action over the next little bit here. I'm gonna put some fibs on this and start at this low, the last lower high that we had, down to the last lower low. What does that give me? Well, it gives me a very short-term move here from the start of July to where we are, from the end of July to where we are now. And as you see, we went from nothing all the way right to our take profit fibs at the 1272, 1414, and the 1.618 fibs. Bam, straight to them. Hence why I took profits. Said, hey, man, you know what? That was a lot all of a sudden. Let me get some of my money, right? I had a chance to make some money in the bear market. I took that chance and it worked out. Head's itching. Getting an old man, my hair's slowly falling out. So when it starts to grow back, it itches like crazy. It's wild, dude. That's why I was shaving my head for a while. Just shaving my head tears my scalp up. That's the problem. Anyway, this is a short-term fib set. This should start to slow down through here. Rarely do we see it go too much farther past the 1.618. You have seen it do that before. So I'll show you a little bit more here. Here's the 2 fib. That's at 138. Now, if you remember, that happens to line up with that red box that we drew up there where our resistance level is. It's possible that we get there. But again, if that happens, it's just stretching its neck out farther and becoming more and more overbought. Let's say, hypothetically, we've hit our high point here. I'll pull fibs back in the other direction, thinking that this is the low and this is the high. Now, this isn't necessarily correct yet. We have no proof that this is necessarily the stopping point and this thing's going to turn back around. But, and I do think this is probably going to happen, time for a slowdown. I expect this price to sort of play back and forth with this level for a little bit. All right. I like this trend line to get tested, whether it be tomorrow or 2 weeks from now. And slowly after that happens, some sort of a trend break and a slow rollback down through the Fibonacci lines. Those are 125, which we're right above right now, and it's still not stopped yet. But on the way back down, the important lines would be 119 at the 382 fib, 115 at the 50 fib, and that'll be the first crucial line, which happens to line up with the 100 moving average and the 8 EMA on the way back down here, right? I can remove this arrow. We've all seen that the arrow I drew has come true now. So I'm going to erase it just so we can see what we're doing. I'll put it back up there later. So up it goes, slowly back down. Time to reject this 200 moving average. And remember, like I've described before, the 200 moving average becomes a bit sticky and a bit magnetized and kind of slows the price down. Very rarely do you just blow right through it. And you had a great example of that to end the day. It didn't like trying to get through that 200 moving average, did it? No, it didn't. It rejected and stopped directly under it, almost like technical analysis works. A slowdown, pull back, gentle at first. It's got to try to find some resistance here and try to break through it. That won't be easy to do. It will struggle with that. You can't just blow through all this stuff at one time, especially being in the middle of a bear market like we are. After that happens, down to the 382 fib for our first big test, 119-ish. Slowing down from there gets us to the 50 fib and our first chance to bounce and hold. It's unlikely that the first chance holds. It may bounce, but it's unlikely it holds. And now you've started another little short-term downtrend here. Now, this is crude and maybe not completely correct yet, but you're going to see something like this play out. All right. Fight for the 382 doesn't necessarily win, and you get back down here toward this $1 level. I know that sucks to hear, but I think it's more likely than not that we go back test $1 and kind of clear up all this move, come all the way back down to the 786 level at $1. Is that the absolute bottom? Maybe. Maybe not. May go lower from there. It never really got down to my green box. Got very, very close, but it never really got down to my green box where I did think it would get to. It kind of stopped at $1 and turned back the other direction. That makes me think that it's going to retest it one more time. Again, we are in August. This is not the end of the bear market. This is not the end of the bear market. You still have several months to go. And if that's the case, do you really expect this thing to continue to go up for several months? And the answer to that is an easy no. Right? Make sure you're careful here. I do think this thing's going to start to slow down some, and it's mostly driven by Bitcoin, which we're going to talk about next. That's my take on XRP. Hate me if you must. I'm on your team. There is a whiskey set sitting right there with XRP printed on it from Ripple Van Bullwinkle. He sent that to me from Florida. Really cool. I keep that back there because I'm not an XRP hater. My original thing that I ever bought, first time ever, was XRP. I'll continue to chart this forever, no matter how stupid people want to be. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it. Keep your eyes on it, folks. We got some good data now. Well, that was a good first segment. Man, I went for a long time. That sucks. I didn't mean to go that long. Hey, shout out to people watching. Appreciate you, Brother Bill. Good evening, my man. KD Barger, good to see you, brother, from Columbus, Ohio. Been there to watch a UFC fight. You remember me saying that. Squawg, what's up, my guy? Good to see you. Keith never misses. Keith misses sometimes. D Mike, what's up, my guy? He says, is it showtime yet? You're damn right. Screen. Oh, Crypto Addict. Good to see you, brother. I'm waiting for 55K. It's fully possible. 77 people watching this. Fellas, go hit like and drop a comment, okay? Drop a comment. Ripple Van Bullwinkle is in the chat. Shout out my guy. Good to see you, brother. Come hang out more often. We do these live streams every single week at 10 p.m., Tuesday and Thursday. We're going to start stretching it out and doing even longer streams soon, but not until the bull run's over. And honestly, I don't think this shit stops until the end of the year. I know it right now seems, well, oh man, you know, but listen, this is exactly what happens. Everybody gets all hyped up when a couple green candles come in. It's, oh, and then when it goes the wrong way, it's, why? Oh, I got to blame this. I got to blame that. Can't do that. Can't do that. You can't let the up scare you into thinking that you must buy. Oh my God, it's got to be done. You can't let the down scare you into, oh my God, it's never coming back. The emotions have to be the first thing that goes. That's all there is to it. Hey, Waldo, what's up, brother? Good to see you. I appreciate you coming and hanging out. Justin Wynn, 786 for life. My God, good to see you. It's just maths. You know what I'm talking about. Let's get to the next one. Let's hit Bitcoin, and then we'll get to Ethereum. And then we'll do some more. Bitcoin. All right, so I drew that white semicircle months ago. You all saw me share it on this chart on the stream multiple times. Here it is again. We are right there at it. Now, I will admit I slid it to the right a little bit because it's kind of ugly and kind of running into the candles. So I slid it to the right a little bit where it's a little easier to see. But that's the same level that I've been expecting this thing to hit. Over the 200 moving average. What I tell you about the 200 moving average just a couple minutes ago, this thing's sticky. It's like a magnet, and it just blew right through it. That's unsustainable. It's unsustainable to blow through all those moving averages and break through the top of the range without back testing it. I appreciate the green candles. I am happy for people. If you're not getting your profits, you're going to get burned. I'm not telling anybody to sell everything they've got and go run for the hills. But taking profits is crucial to investing. You understand that when you give people your money and your 401ks or your retirement accounts, that they buy and sell and then rebuy and then resell constantly for you. They don't just hodl. That's not how it works. It's never, ever going to be how it works. Less a handful of people. Those handful of people you're never going to be. So stop thinking about it that way. Let's be realistic. You're not Warren Buffett. You're not Mark Cuban. You're not Nancy Pelosi. You're not Dan Crenshaw. You don't have special insider information, and you don't have to wait 45 days to report it like they do. All right. So let's just use the charts. It's the best way to be objective, meaning facts, rather than subjective, meaning feelings. We went right up there to that lower high like I thought we would. Pull some fibs on it here, which is what I had before I took them off the screen. And we are directly into the golden pocket. That's the 618, 68, and 71 fib on the way back up. What does that mean? Well, that's of the last move down from the top to the bottom and working your way back up. You're up 61 to 71% of the way. That's called the golden pocket. It's part of the golden ratio. They're Fibonacci numbers. They've been around for a very long time. If you know the picture of Michelangelo, the picture that Leonardo da Vinci of the perfect human, he used the Fibonacci cycle numbers to draw the picture of the perfect human. It's also used all throughout the math world. Don't hate me for saying it, just get used to hearing it. If I pull all the way from the very top of the bear market, which is all the way up there at 126 and some change, and I pull all the way down to where we are now, you can see that we do have a pretty darn clear breakout. You see that? That's awesome. I'm super stoked for everybody. And I need you to also pump the brakes a little bit. You went right through the 236 fib without back testing it. Not only that, you went through the 100 moving average, 200 moving average, everything else I described a moment ago. Ichimoku cloud, yep, you blew right through all that like it wasn't there. Let's get to the RSI. Uh-oh. Just as I described with XRP, you have the same situation happening here with Bitcoin. You were very oversold. Good. Think about buying. Now you are very overbought, where we saw XRP's RSI was at about 79. Hey, look at Bitcoin, 83, 82 and a half. Right there, 82 and a half, almost 83. Flipping it to the weekly, yes, you have much more room on the weekly for the RSI to go, but I'm warning you, it's done this before. This is June in 2022. She tried to make a run up. We all know that was not the bottom in 2022. It made another dive down. It never got oversold again, but it did take another scoot down. Same thing happened back in the day. This actually ended up being the bottom in November 2018 when it oversold. Prove it to me. I'm glad to see it, but when you get this overbought on the daily, be careful. Things slow down. Also, this kind of a move this late at night throws me off pretty hard. Makes me think, what in the world is doing? Realistically speaking, should this be happening after hours? No, but it is. Again, fishy. I don't like it when I see fishy stuff happen. In fact, it's almost to me like this thing's just wiping the longs out, or wiping the shorts out. I'm sorry, just wiping the shorts out and setting up more shorts to come in. Sets up the bears to take another one last stab down. And then that's over. Again, that's my orange box where I have it highlighted here. This does set up very nicely for that orange box. Let's say we have the bottom here and we pull fibs this way. This doesn't have to be the top. It could keep going. But if it hypothetically is the top, that stops directly in my orange box. Well, that would be very, very, very convenient. Let's see. I'm very tickled about the green. I'm happy for everybody. Please remember to take your profits. Don't be a sucker. Cool. So that was Bitcoin. If you don't take profits now, you'll never take profits in the bull. You are damn right. And boy, can I not explain to you how difficult it is to get people to take profits in the bull market. They just won't listen. King of Light, what's up? Good to see you, my friend. Good to see everybody. Proud people showing up. We have almost 100 people. 4 more for 100. All right, Ethereum. We'll go overtime here. 31.15 on the clock. Ethereum. All right, much better looking chart than Bitcoin. I will openly be happy to admit to this. Directly after this, we'll do Bitcoin dominance, which is important because it's kind of what's got another thing that bothers me with all this. Clean breakout. You can't deny that that's not a clean breakout. After sweeping the low and clearing out all the longs, then the longs come in. It's exactly the opposite of what I was saying about Bitcoin, right? After you clear the shorts, more shorts come in. You've just about wiped them all gone here. All the shorts are almost gone for Ethereum. Warning, you blew right through the 821 EMA like it wasn't even there. And all the weekly moving averages are still in the way. I think this sets up very, very nicely for a touch and roll back down. How aggressive? Well, that's up to you guys. I don't know. Something like that maybe. A higher low here. That would be cool. Something of that nature is what I see happening. Let's grab October right here and pull down. All right. There's our fib set. We had a downtrend. It has now broken. We went right through the 236, again, like it wasn't even there. We are stopped currently at the 382 fib, but it looks like it wants to try to push through it all at once, which is a bit unsustainable. And right at the 50 fib, like I explained about SpaceX on the last live stream, this is a continuation fib down. It needs to break through the 50 fib and hold, which would be getting through all of these moving averages at the same time. If it cannot do that, then this is a bearish back test, and this thing could still come down here and roll over and get very, very ugly. Again, you have multiple months to go before the bull run is over. That doesn't mean that we're going to go down and make new lows. I'm sorry, bear market, before the bear market is over. That doesn't mean we're going to go down and make new lows. It just means don't get your knickers all in a twist. That's what the British people call britches in the South. We got to get through this stuff. I just don't see it getting there that fast. This is all a bit unsustainable. What numbers could we see going back down? Well, it very much depends on where that top comes in at. But once we get a bit of a bottom, we can start to measure. All right, let's say the 200 moving average. Let's say 2,500. It's 24.95 is close. If we don't break that and we start coming back down, we could see 2,000 to 1950 again. And if that doesn't get the job done and it wants to fall farther than that, you got the 786 back down there at 1,500. How much do you trust ETH? It didn't make very much of a new high last bull run. Man, that's up to you guys. I already said I was going to try to play it a little bit more safe. You guys tell me, what do you think? I think this is going to get hung up here and slow down. And I worry that in the bull run, it doesn't do as good as you would think. I kind of want to shift away from it and go to other stuff. But tell me what you think in the comments. All right, BNB. Well, I got XRP, Bitcoin, Ethereum, Binance Coin, Solana, TRX, Hype, and Doge. At least, right? We got to get through these. And then I probably should do SpaceX. Binance Coin. Following the... Oh, hold on a second. Bitcoin dominance. Bitcoin dominance. So Bitcoin dominance appears to have broken out. See it right there. It appears to have broken out. Let's do this. That's 35 minutes. BTCD. So yeah, looks like it's broken out. 100 moving average getting caught right now. And we do have this orange resistance line. If you don't know what I mean by that, if you scroll back a little bit here, you'll see. My headphones are clipping. Sorry. You'll see that that orange line has been an old school line from all the way back in 2017 that's been sort of contentious with price. And price has sort of played around with this line a lot. So, you know what I mean? He says, I think Ethereum would do well in the bull just because it didn't do as much and people won't expect it to do well. That's a good point. It's a good point. So, still playing around with that resistance line. I kind of expect to see it do more of that. It's good that it broke this trend line because it has done this in previous bull markets as well. I'm sorry, bear markets as well. When you had your big bear market down here, or your big bull market came in, then you started your bear. You had that sudden run up and then it slowed way down through the summer, had one more little push up, and it had one short-term breakout right down here. See that? Very aggressive down. Then it had its right there in September 2022. Interesting, huh? It's like right where we're at right now, August, September 2022, 4 years ago. Had a short-term run up before it slowed back down until the end of the year. Sort of what I expect again. Now that we've got this little short-term breakout right here, Bitcoin dominance held the line way better than it did last time. That gets me to the daily. The daily here, looking at that, she broke all the moving averages at once, but was stuck underneath them at the last live stream. And I sort of said, hey, man, what if this thing just crab walks? Well, it didn't. It broke clean through. That being said, breaking clean through like that tells me it's a bit unsustainable. Again, that needs to slow down and come back and check on these before it takes off and goes. That makes me think it's going to slow down and hesitate. And if that's the case, then you're going to start seeing money come back out in the form of people took profits on your ass. So be careful. Now we can get to Ethereum. $37.20. All right, Ethereum. Well, never mind, I already did it. $31.25. $31.25. Now we did be a Binance coin. I'm sorry. $37.45. BNB. I've got 10,000 XRP position, liquidation price 88 cents before this move. I reckon I should risk it. Wait a minute. Are you short or long? I've got a 10,000 XRP position, liquidation price 88 cents. Are you long or short? Before the move, I reckon I should risk it. Because, I mean, if you're long and it's gone from 88 cents to $1.29, which is 70%, boy. Brother, you don't got to close the position, but do not be afraid to take profits. I cannot describe to you enough how important it is to take profits. Your money, do what you want. You want to roll the dice and risk it, knock yourself out. But you're sitting on a wad of winnings. I tell these people all the time, if you're in a leverage position and you're thinking, what do I do? I'm way up. Worst case Ontario, you sell some of the leverage position and buy the actual coins that you just got for free by winning, right? Worst case Ontario, you're sitting on something you can hold on to that they're not going to take away from you, right? This same move happened to me back in 2018 as well, right? Where I decided I was going to try to long it. And I did really, really well for a little bit until that thing turned the corner and went back the other way on me. And then I was liquidated. Gone. I believe that was $45,000. You know what I mean? There you go. Dr. Mike says, maybe take some profits, right? Same way with me, man. Look, I like my profits a lot. And I learned a long time ago, if you don't take profits, someone else will take that shit from you. So, not trying to tell you what to do. I don't do financial advice. But there's never been a bad day to take profits. Binance Coin broke all the moving averages. It's at the 382. Scrolling back a little bit right here, this is the overall big 382 on the way back down. It never hit the weekly 200, which was at the 50 fib. Very curious there. You also have this weekly 50 and 100 moving average over the price. I'm very happy this thing took a sudden move up, but be careful. She's already very overbought at 79 on the RSI. Risky. Solana, 40.15. And getting more efficient. All right, here's Solana. Very similar move to Binance Coin. It's 12x leverage. Still though, 12x leverage, you could maybe take half and be way better position and just have regular XRP. You know what I'm saying? And then that can't be taken away from you. I thought the resistance around 1 and 90 was crazy strong. I was going to re-enter if I got that low. Yeah, I mean, it's support now, but how much longer? And if we get back down to $1 again, you know, then you have taken profits and you could rebuy. It's just really, really risky to be longing in a bear market. Really, really risky to be longing in a bear market. That's why I've said so many times to everybody, don't do that. It's so much more simple just to buy regular coins. Crypto is volatile enough to where you can still make plenty of gains. 133 views, bro. Let's go. Appreciate you guys. You guys are awesome. I don't have any better sound effects. To the losers who said we'd never get it again. So yeah, Solana 821 cross trying to come in. It's already blown right through that on the weekly. Very, very risky that it did that. 200 moving average and the 50 moving average are about to have a death cross on the weekly. Again, not the best look. It's probably why I shy away from this stuff and say, hey, I don't necessarily believe this move just yet. It is also worth noting that some of these things find their bottom in the summer and then make another drop down, but never get all the way back down to their lows again. I've said that before, but I'm trying to reiterate that. You know what I mean? It's important to understand that you're not always going to get new lows. You may just get a retest of the low. You may get a higher low. I don't like to sit on stuff for months and months and months at a time. I like to buy and then get back out because I've learned over time that there's only a certain few amount of days you should be even hold on to something. So Solana's a little bit risky for me. Overbought just like the rest. It's an 80 RSI. When you're that overbought, it gives me the worries. TRX. We haven't covered this one a lot. We probably should have, because TRX has outperformed almost everything. It did have a rough couple weeks in May and June, but since then it started to climb the mountain back up, and it's held on this little short-term uptrend here for quite a while, which to me makes this more sustainable. Now, overall, it is a weekly lower high. There's your previous high, and here's your new high. It's still not as high as it needs to be, but that weekly 821 EMA is getting rebroken, and the bearish candle that it threw at the end of the week last week is getting engulfed. It's very impressive. Note, it's not overbought like the others. This slow, steady grind up has kept it from going overbought while increasingly making new highs along the way. It's a very, very impressive chart compared to some others. It's not all the way to R3 yet, so it looks like 34 to 35 cents, 34 and a half to 35 is more likely than not. TRX has been very impressive. Hype. Past the have you ever seen yeah, so I'm not going to say his name. Watching his analytics, partly why I put the position in, he calls it climbing the wall of worry where everyone says they don't believe it will as well. Also want you to go back and look at all of his live streams where he says $589 is coming, $100 soon, we're about to explode, oh my God, amazing price action. It's always very hyperbolic BS. It's best when he doesn't do any of that, but the problem is he gets people in with the bullshit, and I don't like that. It really, really bothers me. And the fake voice and all that stuff, I really, really have a hard time with that. The wall of worry is a thing from Larry Williams, who started Wyckoff, who does a lot of Wyckoff distribution stuff. Larry Williams is the godfather of Forex stuff. He's very, very smart. Whom was copied by multiple other people, and blockchain, that guy is one of them. I'm not buying anything. Someone asked me what I'm buying. Nothing. I don't buy when things are overbought. I sell when things are overbought. The only position I have open is Tesla. So yeah, see, there's another kicker. H-bar only did 7%. ZC only did a couple percent. Chainlink outperformed. XLM got caught in the moving averages. Like, it slowed down a little bit and kind of hesitated. So, you know, it's one of them things where, like, it's not everything taken off. There's a lot of them. Some of these things are kind of hesitating and bumping their heads, and that immediately gives me pause. I'm not saying I hate that guy. I don't. It's just I got kicked out of that group for disagreeing. So I've got bitter taste. And I don't like all the hyperbolic talk and all the stupid thumbnails. And I saved the posts, and I've not unsaved them, of when he drew it out going to $100 and said this was about to happen. And we never broke $3. And he never said sorry for any of that. He just laughed about it and kept going. You know, it annoys the hell out of me. Yeah, you have to go back and look at the streams, because he lost a lot of people when he did that, because he turned into the same people who do all the hyperbolic nonsense. He did it too, and that bothers the hell out of me. Anyway, here's Hype. Hype breaks through the 821, through the 100, through the 50, and gets all the way up to the previous highs and is testing the short leverage. My goodness. Hype continues to outperform nearly everything. I'm just going to remove that green line because it just pretty soon is going to try to break through it. Really impressive move for Hype. If I pull fibs all the way back to September 25, which is the end of the bull run, this thing went all the way down in January, turns the corner when everything else starts going down and starts going up instead, completely counterintuitive to everything else. And it's now almost all the way up to the 1.272 at 79.98. Extremely impressive. That being said, weekly still not overbought, but look at this daily. Again, 76 on the RSI. Can it go a little higher? Yeah, it can go a little higher. But gosh, that's threatening. Buying something that's overbought is super scary. Super scary. I like looking for everyone's viewpoints. That's a fair point. Over the years, after doing this for almost a decade now, I don't watch any other YouTubers regarding crypto. There are a few out there who do charts only. No hyperbolic, no nonsense, and no one takes deals. I've never taken a deal. I've never taken money to promote anything. Refuse to. All right? I can't say that for most of the other people that you're watching. I'm not going to say all of them. But most of the people that you're watching have been paid to say things. Not my job. And that immediately throws up a red flag to me when that happens, because if they've been paid to say it, well, then they're paid for. I am not bought and paid for. I'm just an idiot in upstate South Carolina who pulls for terrible sports teams. So I have been doing this for a long time now. We've gotten pretty darn good at it. I'm not perfect. Got a pretty good following going from all this too, which makes me super happy. We've got, I think, 40,000 people total following across all the platforms. Enough to fill a half a football stadium. That blows my mind. Hey, we'll see what the rest of the things lead out to, but I don't encourage not listening to other viewpoints. I do encourage listening to other people. Just be careful and remember that people are bought and paid for it, and that really frustrates me. I don't want people to go down the wrong rabbit holes. It's really how they're invested their fees. It definitely does get the hype to its name. Doesn't that function by taking the fees to buy more of the coin? You're talking about hype. Yes and no. So a lot of people get caught in the what it does. And I understand that, and people want to look at the utility, but realistically, none of this shit has any utility. There are so few people in crypto, especially during a bear market, that you can't rely on that kind of data. Why has it been more counterintuitive than the others? I could hear the arguments that you're saying, and I've heard it from a couple other people as well. I could agree that there's an argument to be made that this thing's done stuff because XXX. The problem is we don't have any real proof of any of it. And hey, I didn't expect this thing to make 270% gains in a bear market. But if everyone tells you that they did expect that, then everyone's full of shit, because it's just not the truth. This is sort of the exception to the rule. And since it's the exception to the rule, I can't really use it as an example. I'm super happy it happened. Really pisses me off because when it was $20, I tried to buy $2,000 and my order didn't get filled, and I got $200, and I still made good money on it. But it's like, man, come on, that could have been a killer trade. But it's whatever. Hey, what's up, bro? Good to see you. It said, thanks, Keith. It's been a hell of a journey. This journey isn't over, brother. Strap in. It's just getting started. We got another 4 years ago. But yeah, we started with nothing, Rug. He used to be in one of those groups with me. That guy kicked me out also and still won't talk to me to this day, almost 10 years later. And that's crazy. Tried to mend fences and nobody ever wanted to mend fences. And it's wild to even think that happened. But it did. Dogecoin. 51.10. All right, here's Doge on the weekly. We drop these moving averages off. First time we've seen Doge have a glimmer of life and it breaks the trend line. How you doing, young lady? Put the moving averages back up there. She's in the wait a minute zone on the weekly, but nowhere near the same gains that we've seen in some other ones, right? So people look at this and go, ooh, an opportunity. I'll say this, yes, there might be an opportunity there, but last bull run, and we're not even in a bull run yet, I got burned several times when I bought things that I thought, hey, they need to go up, and they didn't do it. Now, I did win on some of them, like XCN, and I have a whole bunch of other ones that I won on. Tensor, Ori, Velo, Pyth, Aerodrome, Velodrome, and some others. But the point is, some of them didn't work so well, right? They lagged behind and they never really caught up and took off. And it really, really sucked being stuck in them. Look at this one, just the same as others. Doge already overbought without making as big of the gains that some of the other ones did. If I strap back on this a little bit and I look all the way to the bear market top, my goodness, Doge is down. It's still down 73% after moving up some. Goodness gracious, Doge. What a letdown, dude. But for what it's worth, it's trying. It hasn't even gotten to the 236 yet, which is all the way up near 10 cents. That's also resistance through here, right at about 8.5 cents. So, and it's already kind of hit it one time. How many of these are going to push up through resistance in a hurry? And meme coins and Dogecoin and all these, man, I happen to be a believer that part of the problem that we had last bull run was the fact that meme coins even became a thing and stupidity happened. Pump.fun, which is a still top 100 coin. All that stupidity really, really, really set the crypto market back. And I know people look at it and go, well, I made good. No, like 5% of the people did well. I refused to buy any meme coins, so I stayed away from all of it, which I'm kind of happy I did. And I know there was gains to be made. And again, I get a ton of offers in my messages constantly trying to get me to push this stuff. I just say no. A lot of people don't say no, and that scares me. Is that going to happen again this time? Probably. Will meme coins have the same bite that they had last time? Probably not. Your call on those. I'm not going to fool with them. I'll chart them for you guys as we get closer to the bull run. But I still think we need to calm down here a little bit and see this for what this is. A 4 or 5 day absolute rip that's probably not going to be sustainable for the long term. I think we need to slow down a little bit and at least catch our breath so we can try to make another run up. If this thing doesn't slow down and catch its breath, it's going to get caught in its own feet. It's going to trip over itself and it could get very, very ugly. I don't want that to happen. I want this thing to maintain. So let's be mindful and be watchful. I appreciate everyone coming hanging out, dude. We had 200 people on YouTube alone. Perfect time to say, check us out at wap.com/team786. It's free for a month, and then it's half the cost of a Starbucks coffee per month after that. If you don't like it, you can cancel at any time. Again, it's cheap on purpose because we don't like to run the ringer on people. That's stupid. The couple dollars that you spend keeps the crazies out. I appreciate everybody watching. You guys are awesome. Be back again on Tuesday. I'll be watching this shit like a hawk tomorrow. I'm going to try to be on the laptop as fast as I can, but dude, it's the middle of the summer and it's freaking crunch time. I have to work Saturday. I volunteered to help. That was such a bad idea, but I'm going to do it because it's probably the right thing to do. So anyway, I'll be back Tuesday. We'll be back again. Most of you guys come and hang out would be awesome. I appreciate you coming and hanging out, George, Xmas, Christmas. Appreciate you coming and stopping by. It's awesome. We'll be back again Tuesday, same time, 10 p.m. Thursday, same time, 10 p.m. Panthers play tomorrow. Go Panthers. Y'all be good. I'm out. I should be dead or in jail. I'm still alive. That means I'm going to make the best of it. I'll see y'all next time. Sky's the limit. I'm out. Peace.